We are on Calhoun Hill, and there are several features here we have to point out. First is Deep Coulee, which is where leads down to Medicine Tail Coulee and the Little Bighorn River. You can see the trees there. That's the northern end of the village, and it was from that area down there that the left wing moved up Deep Coulee and ended up here on Calhoun Hill. We have Weir Point off in the distance, the Camel Humpbacks, and the Flat Plateau. We have Nye Cartwright Ridge, the ridge right in front here, and the Henryville sector, which is the low ground in front of Nye Cartwright Ridge. To the west, we have the Little Bighorn River. You can see the tree line. In front of the Little Bighorn, you have a low, flat ridge there. That is Greasy Grass Ridge. And in front of Greasy Grass, the low area is Calhoun Coulee and Calhoun Ravine. This is the Calhoun Hill Road Loop, and you can see we finally have some markers. To the north of this area, we have the Keogh sector. Off in the middle of the screen, we have Battle Ridge and Last Stand Hill in the middle, and they're just to the right of the tree line there. The tree line is the National Cemetery, and that is Cemetery Ridge. And then we have, you can't see it from here, but the South Skirmish Line and Ford D areas and Deep Ravine are all on the other side of this Battle Ridge, which we will get to very shortly. So, let's get to the action here. As you can see, Calhoun Hill offered the Custer a great view of the valley floor. The non-combatants were easily spotted, fleeing to the north. Many had grouped together down at the river at Ford D. Once the right wing reached this spot, Captain Keogh dismounted 1st Lieutenant James Calhoun's Company L and placed them in a skirmish line. And he placed them in a skirmish line actually in the Henryville sector, which is below Calhoun Hill here. And they were dealing with Indians that were coming from this Deep Coulee area. The Indians started to cross the river as the soldiers left the river. Okay, from here Calhoun sniped at the warriors. Custer decided to repeat the same tactic that he had just performed in Medicine Tail area. He left the right wing here in the Calhoun areas. Calhoun in skirmish line, and Keogh and the Company C under 2nd Lieutenant Henry Moore Harrington were placed in reserve up on this hill for a short time. At the same time, Custer decided he was going to take the left wing and move down to the river again, which meant he was going to move north. So he's going to go basically on the right side of Battle Ridge here, or the east side of Battle Ridge, go around Last Stand Hill and head down to the river and see if he can find a place to ford the river and capture the non-combatants. The soldiers from Company L that were in the Henryville sector were actually redeployed at some point, probably not real long in the fight. They were moved up into this area and actually formed a skirmish line that faced to the south, and it kind of goes along where these markers are. The skirmish line, which is known as the AB skirmish line to archaeologists, I'm looking west here, it faced south that way against the Indians that are coming up Deep Coulee, and it ran from where I'm standing about 110, 120 yards in a line down toward the river here. So it's pretty much all inside the road loop here. Captain Keogh and his Company I and the Company C under Lieutenant Henry Moore Harrington were placed in reserve back in the shallow area back there. And so, proper military fashion, the right wing is deployed, one in skirmish line, the other 2 companies are in reserve. The left wing is leaving the area to investigate, try to find the non-combatants. And while the guys are up here fighting, they're out in the open. The Indians can see them, but more importantly, when Benteen arrives, he will see them. So then they can facilitate contact with him. So that's why they're up here. Okay, now we're going to move on. We're going to leave the left wing for a while, and because they're going to be doing some scouting. And unfortunately, while the left wing is scouting, the right wing is going to meet disaster. And we're going to move on down toward that area there, down by the road where that car is. That is Calhoun Ridge. And we're going to have significant changes in the battle very shortly.